Hello and warm greetings. Time to present you the English news. A top US official has said President Mohammad Ashraf Ghani has offered the Taliban group for participation in peace talks, as the officials insist that the offer did not mean that the group should surrender. Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary Alice Wells of the Bureau of the South and Central Asian Affairs told reporters that President Ghani offered a defined process during the Kabul Process Second Summit. This is not a surrender that's being offered to the Taliban, but a dignified process for reaching a political framework. And again, he emphasized that this is negotiations without preconditions, a process that would lead to a concession and cessation of violence, halt in the ties with the terrorism, and respect for the Afghanistan constitution, she added. Farsi militants killed and used drone strikes in Kunar and Nangarhar provinces. Based on the reports released, at least 4 militants affiliated with the Islamic State of Iraq and Serbia terrorist group were killed in the US drone strike in Eastern Kunar and Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. The two first Salab corps of the Afghan military in East said the latest drone strike were carried out in the past 24 hours. According to this organization, at least 2 of the militants were killed in Nawroz area in a chain district of Eastern Nangarhar province. In a similar strike in Watapu district of Kunar province, at least 2 more ISIS militants were killed, the 2 first Salab corps said. The source also added that the strike have not caused any casualty to the local residents. The government or militants and terrorist groups, including the ISIS insurgents, have not commented regarding the reports so far. The Afghan National Defense and Security Forces have foiled the militants' plot to carry out a deadly attack using a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. The Ministry of Interior (MOI) in a statement said a Humvee-type vehicle packed with hundreds of kilograms of explosives was discovered and defused before the militants to use for a deadly attack. The statement further added that the vehicle was discovered in the early hours of Tuesday morning from the vicinity of Zani Khail district and Ismail Khail district. The government armed terrorist groups, including the Taliban insurgents, have not commented according to the reports so far. This province is among the relatively calm provinces in southeast of Afghanistan, where fewer terrorist-related incidents are reported from. And President Trump has said a visit to Israel is on the cards, to be timed with the planned opening of the U.S. embassy in Jerusalem in May. Trump's decision to move the U.S. diplomatic base there has infuriated Arab allies, but has bolstered Israel's Prime Minister. Benjamin Netanyahu is fighting for his political survival back home amid a string of corruption props. Casting a shadow over his meeting with Trump, it was revealed that former Netanyahu and Yair Hevetz had agreed to testify against the premier and hand over alleged recordings of him and his wife. Hevetz, one of the suspects in a case involving alleged favors granted to Israel's biggest telecommunications company, Bezik. Netanyahu denies any wrongdoing, while protests have been held calling on him to step down. Thank you for joining the English news from KHURSHID. Good night. Bye.